The first rays of the sun slice through the gaps in your reed mat door, striping the mud brick walls of your home. The air is already thick. You can smell the wood smoke from a neighbour's hearth, the sharp tang of donkey dung in the street, and the constant, comforting aroma of bread from the communal ovens. Your back aches from the hard-packed earth you call a bed. It's a deep, familiar pain, your daily alarm clock, reminding you the first rays of the sun slice through the gaps in your reed mat door, striping the mud brick walls of your home. The air is already thick. You can smell the wood smoke from a neighbour's hearth, the sharp tang of donkey dung in the street, and the constant, comforting aroma of bread from the communal ovens. Your back aches from the hard-packed earth you call a bed. It's a deep, familiar pain, your daily alarm clock. The first rays of the sun slice through the gaps in your reed mat door, striping the mud brick walls of your home. The air is already thick. You can smell the wood smoke from a neighbour's hearth, the sharp tang of donkey dung in the street, and the constant, comforting aroma of bread from the communal ovens. Your back aches from the hard-packed earth you call a bed. It's a deep, familiar pain, your daily alarm clock, reminding you that your body is just a tool, and a new day of labour for the God King has dawned. Outside, the world is waking up. A donkey brays, children chatter, and your fellow labourers are starting to emerge. In the distance, you can just barely hear the rhythmic chanting from the foot of the great monument. Today, you'll lend your strength to the Pharaoh. You're building his stairway to the heavens. Before we start on this journey, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. You push yourself up, and your joints protest with a series of clicks and groans. The floor is cool and gritty under your bare feet. Your home is simple, just one room made of sun-dried bricks from the Nile, mixed with straw to make them strong. It's small, but it's yours. In one corner, clay pots hold the little you own. Grain, dried fish, a few precious dates. Your wife, Amunet, is already awake, a silhouette in the growing light. She moves with a practiced rhythm, grinding emmer wheat on a stone slab. That scraping sound is as constant in your life as your own heartbeat. Your two kids, a boy of 7 and a girl of 5, are still tangled together on a mat, fast asleep. Amunet glances up and gives you a weary but warm smile. She doesn't have to say anything. You can see the worry in her eyes. But she also knows this work is what earns your family's place in the world, what puts the daily rations of bread and beer on the table. You go to a large clay jar and scoop some water with a cup. It's lukewarm and tastes like the river, but it's wet. Breakfast is quick. Amunet hands you a piece of coarse, flat bread, dense and filling, and a couple of sweet dates. You eat standing by the door, watching the village of Hayt el Ghurab come to life. This is the city of the pyramid builders, a huge, organized town built for one reason, to serve the massive triangle that looms over everything. Your son starts to stir. It won't be long before he's old enough to join you out there, to learn his father's trade. It's just the way things are. You put a hand on his head for a moment before you go. Amunet presses a small bundle into your hand, more bread and a few onions for your midday meal. You meet her eyes, a silent understanding of the long day ahead. Stepping into the street, you're immediately swept into a river of men, all flowing in the same direction, towards the gateway separating your homes from the worksite. You pass the great bakeries, ovens already blasting heat, as workers knead dough for the 10,000 loaves needed to feed everyone each day. The air near the breweries is thick with the sweet, fermented smell of beer being prepared in huge vats. This isn't just chaos, it's an organized army of craftsmen. You find your crew, your division, waiting near the gate. There's Nacht, broad-shouldered and quiet. Sennefer, who complains about everything from the heat to the beer. And Ipi, your foreman. He's a hard man, but fair. Your gang of 20 is part of a file of 200, and we even have a name, painted in red on our gear. The Drunkards of Menkor. It sounds like a joke, but it's a boast. It means we're strong, fearless, and we belong to the Pharaoh. Together you approach the massive stone wall of the Crow. Its gate is like a dark mouth, waiting to swallow you for the day. Walking through it, you leave the world of family and homes behind. On the other side is the sacred land of the dead, where you build an eternal home for a god. The village noise fades, replaced by the industrial roar of construction. The day's work is about to begin. The Giza Plateau is a vast stage of sand and rock, and the pyramid is the star of the show. It isn't smooth and perfect yet. It's a raw, stepped mountain of stone, swarming with men like ants. Ramps made of rubble and clay spiral around its core. The air hums with the tink, tink, tink of copper chisels, the thud of heavy pounders, and the constant shouts of foremen. Your job today isn't on the dizzying heights of the pyramid, but down on the causeway. A new block of limestone is waiting. It weighs over 2.5 tons, more than 2 bulls. It's your crew's job to move it a few hundred cubits to the main ramp. It seems impossible, just flesh and bone against solid rock. But you've done this before. You know the secrets. IP barks orders. The block is on a huge wooden sledge. You and the other 20 men grab the thick, fibrous ropes tied to the front. They feel rough in your palms, digging into your skin. You brace your feet in the sand. At the front of the sledge, 2 men stand with clay jars of water. This is the key. They pour a little water onto the sand right in front of the sledge. It's a simple trick, but it hardens the sand just enough to cut the friction. It makes the impossible possible. Ready! IP bellows. You lean into the rope, every muscle in your body screaming before you've even started. Together, now! The collective grunt of 20 men fills the air. The rope goes taut, feeling like it might snap. For a second, nothing. The stone won't budge. You dig your feet in deeper, your thighs burning. Your world shrinks to the rope in your hands and the straining back of the man in front of you. Then, with a groan of wood on sand, the sledge lurches forward. It moves just a finger's width, but it moves. That's your rhythm for the next few hours. Pull, strain, grunt, rest. The stone inches forward. Pull, strain, grunt, rest. The sun climbs higher, a merciless white orb. Sweat pours into your eyes, soaking your loincloth. The fine limestone dust is everywhere, on your skin, in your throat, in your lungs. You breathe it and taste it. You aren't a slave. You know this. Slaves captured in foreign wars work elsewhere. You are a paid laborer serving the Pharaoh, your tax paid in sweat. You work for 3 months, then go back to your village and your farm. But right now, under the crushing sun with your muscles on fire, the distinction feels pretty thin. You just focus on surviving. Watch the feet in front of you. Listen to IP's shouts. Feel the rhythm. An overseer walks by, carrying a reed staff. He doesn't shout. He just watches, and his presence makes everyone pull a little harder. He represents the will of the Pharaoh. His clean linen kilt is a world away from your sweat-stained rag. You avoid his gaze and focus on the rope. Your world is here, in the dust, with your gang. You're a drunkard of Menkor, and you have a stone to move. When the sun is directly overhead, bleaching all the colour from the world, a horn sounds. The midday break. The ropes drop. Men collapse right where they stand or stumble toward any sliver of shade they can find. You and your crew head for the shadow of a half-finished temple wall. Escaping the direct sun is a relief so profound it feels almost religious. The cool stone against your back is heaven. You sit, your body trembling with fatigue. Your hands are raw, blisters already forming. Sennefer, true to form, is already groaning. My back will split in two before this day is done. The beer had better be strong today. As if on cue, the ration carriers arrive, handing out the day's meal. You get your portion, a dense loaf of bread, 2 sharp onions, and a piece of dried salted fish. It's simple stuff, but it's fuel. And then comes the best part, the beer. It's not what a king would drink. It's thick, lumpy, and more like a thin porridge, but it's full of nutrients and safer to drink than the canal water. It's your pay, your medicine, and your reward, all in one. You get a generous cup, maybe the first of a few you'll get today. It tastes sour and earthy, but you drink it down gratefully. You can feel the strength flowing back into your exhausted limbs, dulling the sharpest edges of the pain. You eat slowly. Around you, men talk about their villages and families, trading jokes and insults. This camaraderie is what makes the brutal work bearable. You're a unit, bound by shared hardship. You look up at the pyramid. From this close, the scale is just impossible to grasp. You can trace the path your block has to take, up the massive ramps clinging to its sides. You see other crews far above you, just specks against the white limestone. You're just one small part of this. Some men are quarrying stone miles away, others are sailing it down the Nile, and some are skilled carvers, making sure every angle is perfect. The priests say this isn't just a tomb, it's a resurrection machine. It's a ladder to help the Pharaoh's spirit join the sun god Ra. By building it, you're upholding Ma'at, the cosmic order of the universe. Without it, the Nile might not flood, the sun might not rise, and the world would fall into chaos. Your aching back, your raw hands, they're all sacrifices to keep the world turning. Suddenly the pain feels meaningful. You finish your beer, the break is almost over. The horn blows again, a flat dead sound in the afternoon heat. A collective groan rises from thousands of men. Getting to your feet is an act of pure will. Your muscles have stiffened, and the short rest just reminded you how tired you are. The sun reflects off the limestone with a blinding glare. You grab the ropes again. The mood is sullen now. The work is punctuated only by IP's commands and your own grunts. Every pull feels heavier than the last. You just have to endure. Endure the heat, the pain, the thirst. Your crew is moving the stone around a narrow corner. It requires careful coordination. Men with long wooden levers are at the back, ready to pry the sledge sideways while you pull. "Ready on the levers!" IP yells. "Pull on my mark! Gently! Pull!" You lean into it, but someone pulls too hard, too fast. The sledge slews sideways. A young guy from the next rope, Kiba, loses his footing in the sand. For one horrifying second, he stumbles. The sledge, with all 2.5 tons of momentum, keeps sliding. There's a sickening wet crunch and a scream of pure agony that cuts through all the noise. Work stops. Everyone freezes. Kiba is on the ground, his leg trapped and twisted beneath the wooden runner. IP is shouting, "Lift it, you fools! Lift it now!" Your crew and the one next to you rush to jam levers under the sledge, raising it just enough to drag Kiba clear. His leg is a ruin, the bone clearly snapped. Blood soaks into the pale sand. The medics are already on their way. There's a system for this too. They're practical men. One gives Kiba a piece of wood to bite down on, while the other binds the leg with linen strips. You've heard the stories. They'll take him to the infirmary, where a physician will try to set the bone, maybe use splints and a honey poultice to stop infection. He'll get paid time to recover. His grain ration's still provided. He's a valuable worker. But as they carry Kiba away, a chill falls over your crew. Every man here knows that could have been him. The danger is always there, lurking. You see it in the scars on the older workers. You feel it in the twinge of your own back. IP lets you rest for a moment, but the overseer is already approaching, looking impatient. Time was lost. Back to it, IP says, his voice low and hard. Watch your feet. Let's finish this. The work after that is different. We're all quieter, more focused. Fear has a way of sharpening your senses. The stone feels heavier now, charged with a new menace. You pull with a grim determination. You pull for Kiba. You pull because you have to. Finally, as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky orange and purple, the final horn sounds. It's the most beautiful sound in the world. The ropes drop from your hands. A wave of exhaustion so deep your knees feel weak washes over you. The walk home is a slow shuffle of spent men. The river of humanity that flowed out this morning now flows back, a sluggish, weary tide. The air changes as you pass back through the wall of the Crow. It smells of life again, cooking fires, livestock, people. The joyful shrieks of children playing in the alleys cut through your fatigue. The sheer normality of it soothes your soul. You see your small home, and Amune is in the doorway, framed by the flickering light of an oil lamp. Her eyes find yours, asking the same question she asks every single day, without words. Are you safe? You give her a small nod, and you can see the tension leave her shoulders. You're home. Inside, it smells of roasted mutton and lentil stew. It's a feast. You wash the layers of limestone dust from your hands and face. The water turns milky white. Amunet quietly examines your new scrapes and the angry red welts on your hands, dabbing them with ointment. You eat together, and you tell her about Kaba's accident in a low voice. She listens with a familiar, somber understanding. These stories are common here. Your son listens, his eyes wide. He's learning what it means to be a builder. After the meal, you lean against the cool mud brick wall. Every part of you aches. Amunet hands you your final ration of beer. You drink it slowly, letting it dull the pain. The village quiets down. Sleep is pulling at you, and you're grateful for it. It's not rest, it's oblivion. A heavy, dreamless sleep that only comes from being completely and utterly spent. You'll need it, because tomorrow the sun will rise and the stone will be waiting. Later, you can't sleep. The ache in your bones is too loud. You climb the ladder to your flat roof. The stars are a brilliant spray of diamonds against the black sky. And there it is. The pyramid. Its silhouette is a black mountain, blotting out the stars. A man-made peak that rivals the work of the gods. A strange mix of feelings washes over you. You hate that pyramid. You hate the way it breaks your body, steals the men you work with, and demands every ounce of your strength. You hate the dust and the heat. And yet, there's also a profound, terrible pride. You're not a slave being whipped. You're a man of Egypt. You are fed, housed, and cared for when you're injured. You're part of the greatest project the world has ever seen. You're building an eternal vessel for your God, ensuring the prosperity of your own world. Your small, painful life is tied to something that will last forever. No one will know your name, but your work will stand for 10,000 years. You look at your raw hands in the starlight. They are the hands of a builder. Tomorrow, they will grip the ropes again. Tomorrow, you will face the stone. But tonight, under the vast Egyptian sky, you feel a sense of peace. You have a place. You have a purpose. You close your eyes, and this time, sleep comes to claim you. What other ancient Egyptian roles would you like to experience? A priest in the Temple of Karnak? A scribe in the royal court? Or a soldier on campaign in Nubia? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to journey back in time again, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more.